Joining us again this evening is social commentator Sam Kaupirura. A very good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me again.
Now, it was just now when the ICC prosecutor dropped a bombshell, if I may, and now it's the three European countries, that's Ireland, Spain and Norway, that as from May 28th, they've indicated that they would recognize Palestine as a state. What a moment. What's your take on this?
Now, clearly, it couldn't have come at a worse time for the state of Israel. They've suffered the ICC seeking arrest warrants for its prime minister, defense minister, and some Hamas leaders. Barely 48 hours after that, you have three, European countries announcing that they are recognizing the state of Palestine formally, adding to a growing list of over 140 countries who are UN members already globally. Namibia, of course, has already recognized, the Palestinian state way back. And this has sent serious diplomatic and political shockwaves for Israel, which is currently battling an intensive military offensive in Gaza. As you know, it has also been experiencing incursions and endless rockets being fired from Lebanon by Hamas. There has also been this Iranian conflict, which one doesn't really understand if it is just stalled or ended or being remanufactured. So these are tough days for the state of Israel on quite a multiple number of fronts.
Now, the countries say the move is aimed at injecting new momentum into efforts to secure a long-lasting peace in the war-torn region. Could there be any other reason?
Well, I think, as the Norwegian Prime Minister just has alluded to say, look, there's an ongoing conflict in Palestine. There is the offensive in Rafah, which has been extremely atrocious, extremely violent. More than 75% of the people being killed are women and children. They are civilians, by the way. And the world, I think, is slowly waking up to the fact that it can no longer stand idle and watch the slaughter taking place, in the state of Palestine, simply because Israel is saying it is exercising the right of self-defense.
Now, there is a call for more countries to come on board. Do you think this will happen? And which countries do you think are likely to join this chorus?
Well, Belgium has made it also clear in the past that they've been considering joining that list. A number of Asian countries as well are also potentially preparing to join the list. So I expect the list to be growing, but also within the EU fraternity. Even though you'll be talking about three European countries, they'll continue influencing European political discourse. And I think Europe as a continent would slowly be forced to be taking a collective stance.
Now, EU does not recognize Palestine as a state. Are there any implications for what impact these countries will have?
Well, I wouldn't suspect any immediate implications, but what I think politically could happen, I suspect these countries would be lobbying more and more, among each other, so that more and more European countries, the remaining ones, also toe the line. Because Europe effectively want a unified approach.
Now, finally, more pressure on Israel is mounting, but it's also warned that there will be serious consequences, saying it will not remain silent in the face of who undermines its sovereignty. What can really happen?
Well, they've already recalled their ambassadors from these three countries. They've also threatened unspecified diplomatic and economic action. The state of Israel is taking a very inward approach, looking at statehood and their own sovereignty. But we do have these global legal instruments such as Oslo I, Oslo II, Camp David agreements, the roadmap. All these legal instruments have been preparing the groundwork for the establishment of a Palestinian state living side by side in peace with an Israeli state as well. So clearly, politically, this was coming.